Looking for the best immersion blender for your kitchen in 2025? We've rounded up the top 5 immersion blenders that offer powerful performance, smart design, and versatile features. Whether you're blending soups, sauces, smoothies, or baby food, these hand blenders are up to the task. Okay, dear, let's start in this video top 5 best immersion blenders review.
Number 1.
Vitamix Immersion Blender. As you might expect, I have a lot of kitchen appliances, so I appreciate streamlined ones, like this Vitamix Immersion Blender that doesn't come with any additional attachments. It also just works supremely well. The brand is the gold standard when it comes to full-size blenders, and the handheld version feels nearly as powerful. It operates with 2 buttons, one turns the tool on and off, and the other lets you choose among 5 speeds. The lowest couple work great when I'm blending something like aioli, which I don't want to get too thick too quickly. I've also used them to make many salad dressings, which don't require the motor to run super fast. But I've also put the blender's high blitzing ability to the test, making an herb sauce where the final consistency was closer to a puree than a salsa verde, and a smooth sauce of whole canned tomatoes for lasagna. Recipe developer and cookbook author Salma Dada and cook Ethany Lee both have and love the Vitamix, too. Dada appreciates that she can incrementally increase the speeds. She starts at the lowest setting and then presses the same button to gradually go faster to ensure there's no splatter. Lee likes the ability to scale, too. She says sometimes models with preset speeds go from 0 to 100, but this one, even on its highest setting, keeps liquid contained. She also says she likes that on the lowest setting she's able to retain more texture for something like a compote.
Number 2.
Breville Control Grip Immersion Blender. When I tested the Breville Control Grip, I found it to be very powerful, but the main reason I awarded it best in class is that it allows for subtle changes between 15 speeds, the most of any on this list. That variance came in handy when blending liquids I didn't want to splatter everywhere, like hot soup and heavy cream. I was able to start low and gradually move up. The distinction also means it's very easy to control. With variable speed, it can be harder to land exactly where you want to, but this one allows for subtle but clear differences when making mixtures like salsas, where you don't want to overblend, or immersions like aioli. Too fast and the mixture would become undesirably thick as you slowly stream in olive oil. I also found the handle to be very comfortable. It's made of silicone and designed so that you can get your fingers fully around the neck while still operating the buttons. The majority of the experts I spoke to also said that this Breville model was their favorite. Matt Rodbard, food writer, editor, and cookbook author, has had his for over 5 years. For me, it's just really brought a lot of utility when making soups and sauces, he says. Plus I love the way it feels in my hand. Posey Bryan, recipe developer and writer of the food site 600 Acres, has had hers for even longer, over a decade. I love it, she says. It's so easy to use, and so easy to clean. It's sturdy and substantial and the motor is great. I really think everyone should be using an immersion blender more. It's good for eggs, like if you blend your scrambled eggs with one they'll be so much creamier and better. It's good for smoothies. It's good for sauces of any kind, really. And no matter what you're doing, it shouldn't damage the bottom of any pots or pans or bowls. It has a rubberized lip so that it doesn't scratch, food writer and editor Elise Whitney says. Plus, there are all the attachments. You can use the blender function to puree pumpkin or smooth out a custard for a cream pie, then swap it out for the whisk attachment to whip up some cream to top it with, says Petra Paredes, owner of and baker at Petty's Pie Company in Brooklyn and author of Pie for Everyone. It has a cup attachment that lets you use it as a regular blender, too, so it can replace multiple tools that would otherwise take a lot of space.
Number 3.
Cuisinart Smart Stick Variable Speed Hand Blender. The Cuisinart Smart Stick standout feature is an incredibly smooth variable speed dial that takes the machine from low to high. In my own testing, I was able to shift seamlessly between the high and low points. Making subtle adjustments in either direction when necessary isn't quite as easy as it is with the more expensive Breville above, but it's certainly doable. I managed to never slip too far in either direction, which is especially important when blending hot soup or whisking something like heavy cream, where increasing speed gradually prevents splatter. Chef and author Virginia Willis, who had an older model Cuisinart Immersion Blender for 15 years and replaced it with this one a few years ago, can attest to that, too. If you're making something like refried beans, it's easy to control going partway blended instead of full, she says. And strategist senior editor Simone Kitchens says even the lowest speed was enough to puree vegetables for her baby, either fully or with some texture depending on how long she let the motor run. The Smart Stick is intuitive to set up. The blending blade, whisk, and chopper bowl lock securely into the motor with a simple twist and unlock at the press of a button. The chopper function works just as well as my beloved mini food processor, also from Cuisinart. Though the bowl fits only 2 cups instead of 3, which means I won't use it to make foods that take up more space, like pesto, I do find it easier to clean because of fewer nooks and crannies, reason enough to make it my go-to tool for smaller volume sauces. Christensen, who has owned the blender for 6 years, and Kitchens both say it's exceptionally easy to clean with a simple rinse.
Number 4.
The GE Immersion Blender holds up in a professional kitchen, meaning it's bound to last even longer at home. Richard Ray, executive chef at The Butcher's Daughter, has been using one in his own kitchen and at his restaurant for several years. In the latter, he says he probably uses it even more than the commercial model they also have on hand, pulling it out for creamy soups, cashew ricotta, hummus, and all types of salsa. It's very strong, he says. It breaks through nuts, even some big, bulky blenders don't do that. It has a powerful motor and very sharp blades. And it's super lightweight and doesn't make much noise, a little hum, but that's it.
Number 5.
KitchenAid Cordless Variable Speed Hand Blender. This KitchenAid runs similarly to the all-clad above, but is less expensive. Whitney owns it in addition to her Breville, saying, "It's helpful to not have a cord when I'm blending soup in particular. You just charge it up like you would anything. And the charge lasts for a really long time, 25 uses, according to the website. I definitely don't charge it very often." Instead of a dial, this one has a variable speed button, which Whitney says is very straightforward. Laura Wright, creator of The First Mess and an avid smoothie maker, is also a fan, mostly because it's cordless, she says. It performs just like any other, but not having the cord to deal with when I'm blending hot liquid on the stovetop is great.